If I can have your attention here in the media center, we'll go ahead and start our post-Coors Light Pole Award qualifying with the outside pole winner for this weekend's 24th annual Brantley Gilbert Big Machine Brickyard 400, and that's 2003 race winner Kevin Harvick, driver of the number 4 Jimmy John's Ford for Stewart Haas Racing. Kevin, could you walk us through that qualifying lap that you had there in the final round and your thoughts overall?
Yeah, for us, it really was just, I felt like in turn one I just got a little bit too loose and slid the back of the car from the center out of the corner, and then probably gave up a little bit too much in turn two just because I didn't want to do it again and have the problem keep compounding, trying to make up time, and you actually just cause more problems. So our goal was to run the same lap in every round, and we accomplished that, and where it fell, and today it fell second. So it was good day of practice and qualifying, and the cars got speed, and hopefully we can maintain that through the day tomorrow.
With the new schedule this weekend, how was it getting used to the car and then getting out there and qualifying? Wasn't it an adjustment for you as a driver?
It really wasn't. I mean, as you look at the way that qualifying shook out today, it was a little longer gap, but pretty much the same way that our Friday would go, with actually a little more practice than what we would have had on a normal Friday. So it was 2 short practice sessions together, and I think as you look at a couple extra hours, that didn't really change much. But the extra day at home was definitely good for the team. It's great to cut some of these days out of the weekend so that we can help improve the quality of life for those guys at home. We had a great fan day yesterday, and I think having those interactions that are, I would call those quality interactions with the fans outside of the racetrack, just because of the fact that you're not in that competition mode, is something that's a lot of fun because you can kind of just relax and have a good time. So, and we got to play kids games, so I'm cool with acting like a kid every once in a while.
That was
it's kind of my job during the day.
We'll open the floor for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. We'll go to Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net and Pure N. I was going to ask you about the 2-day schedule, but instead let me ask you about your expectations going next week to Pocono. And I know we're not done here yet, but we got to get some advanced stuff. Just trying to figure out, what do you think going in, what do you expect going back there for the second time?
You can tune in Tuesday night and get your advance done. We'll worry about this week first.
Additional questions for Kevin? Kevin, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
We are now joined by the Coors Light Pole Award winner for the 24th annual Brantley Gilbert Big Machine Brickyard 400 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and that is none other than Kyle Busch, driver of the number 18 Skittles Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And we also have Brexton Busch. Hello, Brexton.
Say hi. Hi.
Hi, buddy.
Laugh.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, right here. Into that. Laugh.
Here we go. Kyle, everybody's in a good mood here. You have to be in a great mood after that Pole Award lap. Could you please walk us through?
Okay. Okay, we're good. Okay, I'm listening.
Just walk us through that qualifying lap. It's pretty fast.
It was good. We obviously have had a really fast Skittles Camry here this weekend. We only focused on race trim stuff there and that abbreviated practices that we had this morning, and so guys did a great job. Though we were just trying to work on the handle for what the race is going to be like later on tomorrow. Felt like we did a pretty good job of that, but wasn't sure anything about qualifying. So obviously the guys did a good job of listening to what our teammates had and what setup they had, and of course just what they were able to do, and so they put that in our car, and it was pretty fast. It worked pretty good.
Okay, we'll open the floor up for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start with Bruce, go to Jerry, then to Jordan.
Bruce Meyer with Auto Week. The timing was certainly right. The lap was the very last one, and nobody else could really get a shot at you after that. Was that something you'd planned to get it right down to the wire so nobody else could have another run on you?
No, not at all. I mean, when you're in such a short session anyways with only 5 minutes, you can't, even if you were the first guy on the racetrack and you made a lap and came back around, you couldn't get it cooled down enough and your tires cool enough to go make another run. So pretty much everybody has what they have in that respect. You're just waiting for a clean racetrack, and whether or not you go first out or whether you just kind of let it wait and cycle through. We were just kind of waiting on setting our air pressures and everything from the previous run. So that's why we didn't get out there and jump out there right away. But all in all, just making sure to hit your marks and have a good fast lap.
Sure.
Jerry Jordan, kickingthetires.net and PRN. You were asked this the other day about going 3 in a row, but being on the pole and out here as fast as you are, do you like your chances any better today than you did yesterday? What are your thoughts heading in?
I'd certainly like to think so. I feel like there's probably about 4 or 5 guys that are right in the same group, and we're one of those guys. So it's just a matter of whether or not one of those or 2 of those or any of those guys can distance themselves from the rest of them tomorrow, and with their race changes and what they're going to do and what the weather is going to do for us for tomorrow. So. I'm certainly optimistic about it. I do feel like we've got a great shot. I didn't know what we had at all going into qualifying, but obviously our car's got some pretty decent speed, so we just got to keep it there and stay up front and lead some laps and of course lead the last one.
We'll go to Jordan, then to Jeffrey.
Jordan Bianchi, SB Nation. Kyle, having completed the Xfinity Series race, what is your opinion on the aero package? Actually, getting in traffic and experiencing it.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not a fan of many things these days. So, it's just all you did was take the fastest car, or the fastest guy, I should say, and bring him back into everybody else's clutches, And I felt like William Byron had one of the fastest cars out there today. I felt like, we did the right things. The 1 and the 7 were really – the 1, the 7, and the 9. All JRM cars were really fast. So, I felt like we just did the right things and got ourselves in the right positions a couple of times to get us that lead that we had, and why we pitted at the end. I'm still not quite sure. I guess we had some sort of cording issue or tire issues or whatever. But in that instance, you got to go till they blow. You can't just hand the race away to somebody else. So whether or not the race was more exciting, probably. But it took the driver mostly out of it because you have a restrictor plate package now where you can draft up on people. You take the fastest guy like myself the last few years here who leads all the laps, and you draw him back closer to everybody else, and it's just more circumstantial. It's just a restrictor plate race. So that was kind of frustrating, but it did single file out a couple times there throughout the day. But anytime you got too far out front and you didn't have any lap cars to draft off of, it just pulled you right back to the rest of those guys because they could draft right back up on you. So I guess that's it.
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey Miller, Athlon Sports. Just from the streak that shouldn't be named, I guess, that you're trying to break tomorrow. From your perspective, looking back over the last year, if you were going to analyze what's kind of kept you out of victory lane, is it more external circumstances, or is it stuff from the driver's seat that has just gone wrong or hasn't worked out well that you're looking to overcome?
You name it, it's happened. There's been stuff for me that I've messed up on and failed on. Speeding on pit road last week was one of them. We've had circumstances where cautions have come out while we've been leading the race, looking at the white flag, and it's going to be a green, white checker finish, and we come in and pit for 2 right side tires, and a couple guys stay out, and they win the race. There's been times where we just got tires, maybe 6 laps on them, and the rest of the field is under the same circumstances, and the yellow comes out, and there's 10 laps to go, and everybody comes in and pits, and we stay out, and we get cycled to the back under the green flag. I mean, you name it, and it's happened. So I think I've counted 5 or 6. There might be more second-place finishes in that time frame. So that's obviously frustrating as well, too, to know that you're that close and you have that chance to win, but you just can't close the deal.
Reed?
Reed Spencer, NASCAR Wire Service. In a lot of cases, the Cup race has been won by a dominant car. How do you think the stages might change that and scramble things around a bit?
I think stages will scramble things around a little bit. You're going to have to play the game where you're going to be in the right position at the right time to win the race. And if that means throwing away some stage points, then you're going to have to do that. And if a caution comes out right at the wrong point when you pit or something like that and you're back in 16th, and people are staying out for the stage points, you're going to be in traffic for much of that run, and it's basically going to cycle those guys to the lead and you to the back, and you're going to have to work your way through the rest of the day and trying to pass people to get back to the front. So, anything can happen. There's certainly a lot of different instances that can happen, and none that you can predict. So you just have to race the race as it comes to you, and change your strategy or analyze your strategy as the race goes on.
Kyle, congratulations on winning the Coors Light Pull Award, and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.